Okay, welcome back, guys, to the Hearthmind Challenge Series number 30. Now we are going to be bringing you the grand final match between No and the Mad Hatter. Again, if you're just joining us, it's going to be a best of five series featuring the Conquest format that Blizzard just unveiled that they're going to be using as their official format for the World Championships this year. So we just finished the third and fourth place match, which is a very exciting series. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one, see who our grand champion's going to be this week. Are the participants ready to go?
Yes, they are. It's very interesting to see that we're going to see a hunter in the finals. We haven't seen that in the previous series. And I wonder if this is going to be the really aggressive space hunter, or is it going to be more mid-rangey?
Mid-range Hunter definitely has made a comeback, I think, since the Undertaker nerf. And like I think it was viable before. It's just Undertaker kind of overwhelmed. It was so good that it was what everyone went to.
And now I think that the face hunter isn't consistent enough to run in a tournament. You can't afford to lose that one game. You have to win every single one, or at least try to win every single one.
Yeah,
For the
and
mid-range hunter, we're talking about a beast hunter with Houndmaster Unleash and Savannah High Maidens and
yeah,
uh,
that would be the
the
basic
hyena,
idea behind it.
even the hyena.
I don't know about the hyena still, but
Well,
and
they're about to queue up, so we'll see. Both players have a paladin, both players have a warlock. Mad Hatter has a hunter as his third class, and No has a druid as his third class. Druid also being very popular these days.
yeah, they actually are already in the game, and it is Hunter versus Druid for this first turn. The Druid just passed, so now we're going to see a coin haunted creeper from the Hunter here. And judging by the hand, I would say it's a face hunter because I see the arcane golem, and that's pretty much a telltale sign that it is a very aggressive hunter.
For sure.
And the druid has a good start, especially facing down a hunter with the swipe and the wrath in his opening hand.
And if this is the taunt heavy druid with a hand like this, with a starting hand like this, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, the only thing that's really not great right now is the big game hunter.
Well, the big game hunter is just a 4-2 for 3, which is not terrible. It'll still deal with something.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a body for him to put on the board at the end of the day, if nothing else.
A keeper top deck would be great, but Ascension is really not bad. And the Ascension tells me that this is the taunt heavy a druid with the lores and the wars.
And I think that was really one of the best things he could have hoped for to pull on this turn, because it slows down what the hunter's able to do. And he just gets to chip away at the haunted creeper right here. Actually, he goes face. I thought he was going to chip at the creeper to be able to enable the swipe.
That's what I would go with as well.
I think
But
health is just too valuable.
well,
And
he's sitting at 26 going to turn 5, which is really not bad. And he
But
just
that,
pulled a massive taunt.
yeah,
and he also does have the heal from the ancient in hand as well. And now he's just going to start building up this continuous wall of taunt that is very hard for the hunter to get through sometimes. Because
looks like the silence has to come down with his hand.
yeah, and as like I've played a lot of hunter, I have to say spending the silence on Ascension is so painful because you know that there's the sludge belchers that are coming later, there's the Ancient of Wars that are
Mhm.
just so much better usage of that silence.
It looks like he's going to keep it, but keeping it really slows down the game. Well, he's not going to keep it. He's going to use it.
I would use it.
I would personally too. It feels terrible, but you just can't wait. With every turn that you're not dealing damage to the face, the chances of you winning with that hunter are going lower.
It's also a 2-1. It's not the worst.
And
Well, that is true. It is another body, but right now we can see that the 3/5 can clear the spiders, and a swipe to the face clears the board completely.
yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for face with the bow there, because he has no mad scientist or trap in his hand. That he should have probably just tried to push out as much damage as he could before any additional taunts come, unless he's thinking of holding it to help him break through another taunt. That's the only real angle I could see there for holding on to the charge from the bow.
Yeah.
It is possible, because the hunter really doesn't care about his health that much. He just wants to deal damage at all cost. I do like this play here. Completely clearing the board and having a body on your side.
I probably
great.
would have went with the hero power there over the wild growth, just to effectively gain the point of armor and be able to deal another damage in there. Because he doesn't have any 8 mana play in his hand right now, so that wild growth really didn't do all that much for accelerating his curve.
I agree. His next turn is going to be a 7-drop anyway, so he's going to float that 1 mana. So at that point, this late in the game, that wild growth would probably be better used cycling.
Yeah,
Well, with this top deck, he might not go for a 7-drop, but he still opts to do it.
Hunter's
Because
Mark.
it was an option to use the Keeper of the Grove just to kill the 4/2.
Ooh. Is it double unleash? A mixture of unleash, arcane golem, or kill command?
I think it would be the Arcane Golem and Unleash, because he would probably save the second Unleash to enable the kill command later.
And you might as well use your charge damage while you can, while there's not taunt.
Exactly, to just push as much in as he can.
He is getting the Druid really low.
It's actually reasonable to not arcane golem and go for hero power, just because the extra 2 damage that you pull out of nowhere from doing that. But it looks like he'll have enough to kill him and not need that, because hero power plus 5 from kill command should be enough past any taunt.
Yeah, and it looks like Hunter here did what Hunter does,
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about with health is valuable. Like, yeah, you were at 26 on whatever turn that was, but that turns into 0 really fast.
Well, that should be game.
Yep.
It's really incredible how much damage Hunter can put out in really no time.
It's really unfair how much damage Hunter can put out in no time.
It is, but it isn't, because if you think about it, they are vulnerable in the sense that they run out of gas very quickly.
Yeah.
And
But-
they need a very good opening. Well, this particular one seems like he's all aggro, just all the charge minions. But the version that runs the high mains, if you draw 2 high mains in your opening hand, you pretty much lose.
Yeah,
Right.
because they sit there and take up space that you need for 1 and 2 drops to just keep putting the pressure onto your opponent. So that means the Hunter is eliminated from Mad Hatter's lineup, which leaves him with a Paladin and a Warlock. And I'm curious to see if he's going to be running an aggressive Warlock or going for a more varied aspect of a control, like a hand lock or demon lock, something to that nature.
Mal'Ganis lock, obviously.
Well, considering that he brought a Hunter, he might be a very aggressive player, and that would mean that he has an aggressive zoo. But who knows, maybe he just has a very diversified deck list, which I would personally like. That's what this format really lets people bring. A very diverse lineup because you can't just go straight through and win with one deck. So
Yeah.
very interesting to see.
Okay, so No is trying the Druid again, and it's going to be against Paladin, which, judging by the look of the opening hand, it looks to be a pretty standard mid-range Paladin. A little bit more on like the higher end side compared to the very aggressive version, seeing as he has Sylvanas and the Black Knight.
Looks like it's pretty much over because there's a golden paladin and a golden Tyrion.
Golden dudes with with golden Tyrion gonna
Yeah.
win the game.
That's enough right there.
Because Hearthstone is nothing but pay to win, right? That's what
Yeah,
Reddit
it's,
tells me anyway.
free to play and pay to win.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says.
Well, in all seriousness, though, the Paladin's hand is not looking that good.
Yeah, it actually isn't. Well, it looks good. It's just not actually gonna be good.
Though he has a quality Consecrate in hand, which is good to have against Druid, because Druid tends to play a lot of large minions,
Yeah.
that it gives him a way to deal with that. And this Zombie Chow here is chipping away a little bit from the start.
Yeah,
Well,
but when it dies, it's just gonna make up for that.
it really depends on what kind of Paladin it is. It's obviously more control-y, but is this going to be a Paladin that's very control-y, like the old pre-GVG Paladins with a lot of heals? Because then he can afford to wait very long and get down on health, get back on health. If not, then the Druid really doesn't need much. He just needs to get him down to that 14 and use that combo.
I would like to see an older version of Paladin that has like 10 legendaries in it, and the game lasts 30 minutes. Those are fun.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case here, though.
Nah, probably not.
And looking from No's hand at the bottom, even if that were the case, I don't know if it would turn out in Mad Hatter's favor necessarily, because he's got Sylvanas, he's got Silence in his hand, he's got Kel'Thuzad. He has a strong late game there. He just needs to get to that point. And
Well, that Wild Growth is definitely going to help with that.
And what Mad Hatter's doing here with just not really building an early board aside from a Zombie Chow and the tokens that get eliminated by the hero power.
I think you coin Sylvanas because turn 7 for a druid is exactly the point where they want to play something big.
I agree. It will not really prevent, but it will make the Druid think twice about playing an Ancient of Lore, which is the ideal turn 7.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have a better play if you really look at it, because what else does he have? Black Knight to an empty board, which against the Druid makes no sense. Or he's got Consecrates and Token, which is terrible to an empty board as well.
Well, I decided to go with the Ancient of Lore.
And he did get an answer for the Dr. Boom in the way of the big game hunter that he picked up right there. But the big game hunter does not answer Tyrion. It does not answer the Quartermaster or Sylvanas. If he were to draw into a muster for battle for the Quartermaster, it's really looking like it's leaning in Mad Hatter's favor here.
Well, I like that trade because it ensures that Sylvanas doesn't steal anything.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you just got rid of your 5/5. Your board right now is just a little taunt on turn 8.
Yeah,
But
you're fine trading Sylvanas for another minion and dealing 5 damage to the face.
Yeah, and here though, he is able to clear the board out and regain some health. So I don't know if I think I like that turn he just had there because it gives him a chance that now he's ahead on the board. His opponent has to react to him, and he can attempt to start dropping some of the threats he has in his hand.
Mhm. The Black Knight looks really juicy, but I think Dr. Boom is the play. One, because it's more mana efficient, and two, because there's even better taunts to kill with Black Knight.
Yeah, like we were saying in one of the earlier games, that the Black Knight against Ascension is really not an ideal use if you're playing against this Druid because you know there's much bigger, more annoying to deal with taunts that are coming later.
That's more annoying, but Black Knight is equally good against that as it is against Senjin.
The Sludge Belcher, you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, though here he can kill the Belcher, run the Boombots in, and possibly eliminate the Senjin in the process.
Or at least get rid of that 4-2.
which would be great. But they'll probably just hit each 1 damage to the face.
Maybe, we'll see.
He has the option to play equality.
I think it's a little too early.
It is a little bit too early. Well, I wouldn't do the equality combo, but equality plus the 2 Boombots may clear the board.
And then you could double knife juggler plus hero power as well. And that's 2 knives going places. He just wants a single knife. Makes sense.
I like this play.
2 to the face. 4 to the face.
That's-
That's just about as bad as what I was saying.
Well, 6 to the face for free is not terrible. He could have gotten
Yeah.
a lot worse out of that.
It's not really for free though, because if Dr. Boom said deal damage to the face and didn't deal damage to minions, then this Paladin deck wouldn't play it.
And
Oh.
this play pretty much sealed the game.
Yeah. Well,
That is
equality,
amazing value out of the Kel'Thuzad.
equality consecrate is going to be forced by this.
And I think Mad Hatter still has a chance.
I think it's pretty even at this moment.
Yeah,
If
because
not in Mad Hatter's favor, because Mad Hatter is the one who just put a minion on board, even though it's small. It's still a small bit of initiative.
yeah, he really doesn't have an answer to Dr. Boom right now, though. But okay, he's going to play conservative, it looks like. Go with the 2 taunts.
Interesting.
I disagree.
Yeah, I thought this was his time to start playing aggressive. Of course, we see both hands, so it's easier for us to say.
What would you play around? The only thing I can think of is playing around Big Game Hunter.
Yeah, Paladins do run Big Game Hunter, though. It's
Yeah.
pretty much a staple because they lack other hard removal. So you're pretty much guaranteed to see at least 1 copy. Because their only other real, what you could call hard removal would be equalities.
Yeah.
And that's not
that's-
even, yeah, it's not even really true removal. Because you need something else to do the point of damage to get it done.
Oh, you can't even hit it anymore. True Silver into the 3-4 would have been great, but can't even hit it anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
he almost cleared the 4-6. If that knife went into it, he would have the option.
Why did he trade the 1-1 in there?
I'm not sure, especially holding Quartermaster. Not
Like,
sure what he was going with.
Swipe, but the 1 damage literally does nothing because your removals are Consecration and True Silver.
Yeah, what you're doing more than 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
I guess unless he was looking at preventing it from trading with the other token, that's about the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. Basically, on the off chance that they don't have Swipe, then you're in a way better spot by having that extra guy. Oh, That's a really good top deck. That has to be played this turn, I think.
With Sylvanas on board, I think he's forced to.
Because there's no way to deal with Sylvanas because the taunt is there.
The problem is,
Taunt's
when you
great.
do that, you do nothing else this turn. You just play a dude.
You can consecrate and then just run into Sylvanas with the True Silver.
But that's taking 5 more damage. You're pretty low on health at this point.
Yeah, that's true. You probably Equality Consecrate and then hit the face once just to play around combo if you're afraid of it.
That, though, it would be the end of... That's both of his Equality and Consecrates then that have been played.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for myself, once you see that, you know, it's kind of like where you know you can overextend your board because Paladin isn't going to have any other way to really deal with multiple minions at that point aside from trading. So
I don't think there's another play.
yeah, they're really...
Sylvanas has to die, and you can't afford to go that low on health against a druid.
Well, if you're below 14, then it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't
So,
swing with the True
yeah.
Silver there to put him out of range.
Seems like he was taking the safe play, but he stopped short of the safe play, which would be hitting the face with the True Silver so you don't die to combo. The other way would have been better because you still died to combo, but you were being more greedy, getting more value.
And see, this scenarios right here comes kind of back to what I was saying, that he really has no way to deal with just the quantity of minions that put out.
I think you kind of just have to put your faith in the light.
And see, he's thinking about it.
I don't see anything else. If you
You
don't...
know it's going to get silenced, though. The druid's been holding a lot of cards for a lot of time.
But you just die, right? If you don't.
Yeah, you like...
Well, you have to deal with
Certainly
the board somehow.
You need at least the 6/6 to fight off that creature. Scenarius.
So we will see him silenced here, I'm sure. And possibly a cycle on one of the tokens, I think.
An Earth Shock that deals 6 damage would be perfect.
Yeah.
Sadly, it doesn't exist. It does with Malagos, though.
Yeah, let's see.
Malagos Earth Shock is the Tyrion Slayer. For 1, plus hit it with Scenarius. Yep.
Yeah, that's...
I like that. Getting rid of that 6/6 when you're at 10 health, that's a safe play.
No more consecrations left. I think that's game.
Yeah, because, I mean, you look at his board, it looks like it would be a weak board, a 2-1, his 5-2, and a 2-4, but without any threat of AoE at this point, he's, you know, he's safe to let his minions drop that low as long as he can deal with his opponent's board on a turn-by-turn basis and just keep the tempo in his favor. He essentially has the game.
He could have a board full of Magma Ragers and be in the same spot.
Yeah, exactly. It's as long as he's able to put out more threats than his opponent, he's not going to lose this. He's not going to get overrun.
Yeah, a handful of Magma Ragers would win in the game, actually. Maybe.
So, like I said before, the 2 very important turns were when he forced Mad Hatter to use his premium removal, and after that, there's really nothing the Paladin can do to stop him.
Mm-hmm. It was a smart play early in the game that is taking its toll now late in the game, causing a win.
Yeah, and I would say I don't think the Mad Hatter drew all that well in this game.
No. Start with how many legendaries?
Yeah, and against the Druids, you really want those True Silvers early, because you can squeeze in a lot of damage with them. And I've found, as playing Paladin against Druid, you're kind of racing the taunts, almost in the same way as a hunter, but not quite to that extreme, because you
Yeah.
do have the resets in the terms of the equality consecrate. But my experience has been if you're able to squeeze in the damage early, it leaves you enough room to be able to finish it at the end of the game.
And
So
also, he's sitting at that quartermaster for quite a few turns, and well, just now when it's too late, he draw
Yeah.
the muster. It was a dead card for pretty much the whole game.
So when do you think Paladin is going to get their own Unleash the Hounds that instead of them being charged hounds, they're charged silver hand recruits?
They almost got it with muster in
Yeah,
terms of the
imagine if
weapon.
those things had charged. No one would play any other class but Paladin, honestly.
I don't think Paladin really needs a boost at this point. I mean, they're
Paladin is
already...
fairly strong. We
It's
saw it
fine.
lose this game, but Paladin is a very strong class at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're definitely top tier now.
So
Okay.
the druid from No is no longer available, so he has a paladin of his own
No,
or a warlock.
no longer available.
To go against...
Mad Hatter has a paladin, warlock, and that's it because the hunter's already
Yeah,
eliminated.
so we're going to see Paladin or Warlock against Paladin or Warlock.
Cool.
Yeah, it's...
Which we know that on No side is a very control-oriented pally, or on Mad Hatter's, excuse me. On No, we're not quite sure what the paladin is.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's a very control Paladin. I mean, it's
I would.
definitely slow by current standards, but...
Well, it's not as slow as the pre-GBG with the million heals. but I
Yeah,
don't
when you
think we're
say
gonna see that
very
anytime soon.
control, that was kind of what I was thinking, like with the Guardian of Kings and everything, nothing
I
but...
still play that card.
Alright. So, are they ready to queue up?
Yes, they're queuing up right now.
Okay. So I'd like to...
Get to see a warlock on either side. I'm really curious to see if somebody brought a zoo or...
That's
or
what I
are
was
they
just
gonna
gonna
be
say.
more
I was gonna say I'd like to see at least one of the warlocks here, just because I haven't really seen too much warlock in tonight's tournament.
I brought the Warlock class, but I actually never brought it out.
Oh, you didn't actually get to play it in any of your games.
Yeah. Mage or Rogue was always the better choice.
So we're gonna see a Paladin mirror match here. Okay,
Probably
and
the slower Paladin has the advantage.
I would tend to agree, because even like the fast Paladin, so to speak, that's out right now, is not that fast where it can rush down another healing class.
Mhm.
So I would definitely give the favor to it was No that was running the or
Oh,
was-
that's a good
No,
draw.
Mad Hatter's the one that's
Mad
running
Hatter.
paladin.
That was a good draw.
And it was a good draw because his hand was not that great without that card.
And that was not a good knife. Leading to a 2-2 being on the board that otherwise wouldn't. And he can Aldor the 2-2 with Divine Shield so it can't get a good trade.
And that's what he went with. Also puts a 3-3 on the board, slowing down what he already knows is a faster paladin because he saw the juggler.
Make the Peacekeeper follow the rules.
yeah.
Well, he has a true silver champion for next turn, so it really doesn't matter that much.
And the Harrison here is definitely gonna be a valuable card in this matchup. We've seen it be dead in a few other of the games where it was against the Druid. But here I think he's definitely gonna get some use out of him.
I
What do you
expect.
guys think of the defender play?
I expected True Silver. I think True Silver was better. Because you would clear the whole board versus leaving it up to the opponent clearing where you see that they get to have a board and clear yours, basically.
I agree. I wasn't a big fan of that play.
I totally disagree with it.
Also, Defender is kind of a surprise card because he hasn't played it last game and it's not included in every Paladin.
Yeah. And now if he plays a Shredder, which looks like he's going to, it's awkward. Even a True Silver into that is equally awkward. Because you don't want to use a 4-attack weapon on a 1 health guy. So I think that was wrong. It led to awkward turns for sure.
And his next turn is not looking that great either.
Harrison.
Well, now we'll get to play another True Silver, so that Harrison made his next turn better.
Now, at this point in the game, who do you guys give the favor to?
No, because he got a draw off Harrison and the Mad Hatter got bad value off his first True Silver and the card advantage.
I agree, and I really think that the turn where he didn't play the True Silver but played the Defender really swung the game in No's favor.
I think that was the turning point to give No the advantage. This is a good minion to clear with the True Silver.
It is, and I like how he kept the Juggler, knowing that the Juggler would die to a 2-2.
Yeah.
And the Mad Hatter, he got his Quartermaster out first. That's
That's a very interesting play. I'm totally confused as to why he didn't hit the Shredder with the True Silver instead.
And the Annoyatron there was just a very good draw. Very annoying.
Hit the Shredder with the True Silver, and then you hit whatever minion it is with the 3/3 after. There's actually a pretty big chance that the 3/3 survives, and you don't care about damage on you, right? Like 2 damage difference?
I agree, Alex. I do think that was the better play.
Yeah. I think that could almost be categorized as a misplay. I'm not sure. Because there might be something we're not thinking about. But I don't see it.
Well, Mad Hatter got some momentum going with the Tyrion now.
That's what Tyrion does. It's going to do something when it gets out. Either bait removal or win the game. Does something.
There's really no way to remove it. Look at No's hand. I want to say the best play for him is to play his own Tyrion.
Well, usually it's best to put your faith in the light. Tyrion doesn't let you down.
well, he could clear with double consecrate, but I don't think that's worth it to do.
I actually think it is.
Well, you zero the board and you give your opponent the weapon.
Yeah, 'cause
Versus the alternative.
Alternative is you're leaving the whole board. Well, it's the problem with that is you're getting rid of both of your consecrations, meaning that your opponent can flood the board from now on.
Yeah, but if you don't clear the board now, you lose. I think because you play your own Tyrion, the Tyrion gets such a good trade into yours. However, you do get the weapon, so I guess it's fine. And then you can clear at the turn after.
Yeah, I do like this play better. Getting rid of both of your consecrations so
Yeah.
early in the game, or well, it's not so early, but early in the game, it's just
Yeah, I can see this.
this play still gave him options. Getting rid of 2 consecrations just put you too far behind.
You trade here, right?
I would trade here.
Whoa.
I would as well, yes.
I think that's greedy.
That knife juggler might get amazing value now.
Because it's a divine shield, it's flimsy. With 1 damage you lose it, but you could run it into that 5-attack thing and have it not matter. It seems like you should just get the value while it still exists.
I agree. He could make that Divine Shield eat 5 damage as opposed to eating 1 damage.
Yeah. Or 2 with consecration. There's quite a few things that could punish him for that. I don't think 6 damage matters. It's not like you have reach in your hand with Equality and Belcher.
Well, this is an important juggle. And it misses.
There was 2 good targets for that out of 4.
Yeah, I still think this is an okay play though, because he can still get rid of Tyrion here
Mhm.
and swing through to the face. And he does have the heal bot in hand to fall back on, so at this point he's going to win the race, even though they both have the Ashbringer out right now.
I expect to see Equality, Belcher, and Hero Power.
Yeah, Muster for Battle is kind of a dead card because you do not want to get rid of that Ashbringer.
That Ashbringer is your only chance of winning. You have to hit the face with it 3 times and find some form of damage to deal the extra 3 and not die in the meantime.
Yeah, the 2-2 out of the Shredder it's kind of standard. I mean,
Yeah,
not the best thing
3-2
by
is
sure.
average, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say 3-2 or a 4-3 would have been great, but you know, 2-2, not the worst thing that could come out of it.
I like this consecration here, pushing for damage.
There is enough damage. Never mind, there isn't enough damage in the weapon to kill them. So it looks pretty much over. Ooh, it looked over.
Yeah,
Nope, it still is.
No,
Alright.
it still is with Boom. So he really has no other option. He's dead.
Yep. So what's our score now?
okay, so now we're gonna see No. It's definitely gonna be his Warlock because that's the only deck he has remaining.
Mhm.
And it's going to be either Mad Hatter's Paladin again or his Warlock going up in a mirror match. So that
So,
I would like to
so
see
to answer your question, Alex, No is up 2-1.
Okay. Cool.
I
I'm
gave
sure
I gave
a
the
lot of our viewers
detailed
have this
score
question
there.
at this point.
Yeah. If someone casting the match has the question, then I'm sure viewers do.
Yes, you know, it's a little bit hard to follow, but I'm starting to get it down. I made
Once
myself a
we get
little,
used to it, it's going to be amazing.
and
Yeah.
I made myself a cheat sheet before the match. I wrote down the names and the classes on it, and I've just been crossing them off. So
Cheater.
it makes it much easier to keep track of, I gotta
I
say.
should have done that.
They're queuing into the game, so we'll see
Yes.
what kind of Warlock this is. And
Warlock.
with your idea, Tim, I really like this. If we go forward and with this format for future games, for future challenges, we should try to get something set up like that
Guys,
for
did you see what I just
the
saw?
overlay.
Mad Hatter just sent away Mal'Ganis in the mulligan. So he plays Mal'Ganis.
Yeah, he has Jiraxis in his hand that came back, so
This is probably... Oh, I don't even know. Handlock plays Dr. Boom, right?
yes, everything
Yes.
plays Dr.
So this is
Boom.
probably just Handlock.
Yeah, it
It
looks.
might be the Magic Amy version.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like the very greedy version that Magic Amy played in ESL.
Both of them with Jiraxis already.
The Rubian Egg.
Yeah,
So
that's
the double Hellfire version? Is that safe to say?
if it's running Nerubian Egg, I think it's gotta be.
So that's kind of the opposite of greedy, except then there's a big game hunter to balance out the fact that we just thought it was not greedy, with the Nerubian Egg. It's just different.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the Nerubian Egg might be a tech card against Paladin,
It may just be for taunting.
or that. Yeah.
If they burn a silence early, that's one less silence for your Void Caller.
So we are gonna see the egg come down, I think.
And tap. Another egg.
Another egg. Very interesting.
Nerubian Factory. This kind of looks like the first version of Demon Lock that came out right when Nax released. All we need is like Fugan and Stalag.
Oh, the one that it was more of a tempo.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you tried to get your stuff out with Void Caller.
I
Oh,
really like that deck. I would like to see that come back.
yeah, it was really fun to play.
Next turn is going to look amazing, having those two ton up.
Yeah, probably actually. Yeah, I think he will go for that. I was thinking he might Void Collar, but with Jiraxis in hand, you actually don't want to, because Jiraxis is better played than brought out.
Yeah, at least in this matchup, I would say. Like,
Yeah,
because there are specific matchups where playing Jiraxis as a 315 is not a bad thing. Like, if you're
yeah.
playing against, like, say, against a zoo deck, having a 315 on board,
hmm
you can just tear through their minions and get amazing value from it.
Oh yeah, and if you taunt it up, you just win.
Oh yeah, they made a mistake. They're on 10 cards in hand right now.
Well, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, at least they got Mal'Ganis. They didn't burn that, so we'll see whatever they burn next turn. That's a lot of legendaries in the hand there.
Yeah, on both sides, really.
Looking flashy.
Mad Hatter just contacted me and just messaged me in game saying, "Too sleepy, don't know how to count anymore." So he realized he's at 10 cards.
Oh, Abusive Sergeant.
That is
That's actually really good.
not a bad thing for him to have burned.
Eggs gone. It makes sense that he would play it, but it's really great that he lost it with the Nerubian eggs. Both already hatched.
Yeah, the only thing it probably would have done for him at this point is allow him to big game hunt or something that he normally wouldn't be able to.
We know how you love big game huntering Lothebs and Sylvanas.
I do. I'm a big fan of that play.
Yeah. Except then they steal your big game hunter.
Not Sylvanas particularly.
Yeah.
The Lotheb, Ancient of War is a great target for that. The
Definitely.
Abusive Sergeant plus Big Game Hunter.
I think it's best used in. Oh my gosh, that
Oh,
just.
that's just good. Oh, never mind. I was going to say that's bad RNG, but I guess not.
Yeah, that's a huge swing right here with the Hellfire as
Big
well.
game hunter is gonna have to be brought out on one of his own minions. Unless that gets a 4. Nope.
Does not. That was probably the worst outcome.
Mortal Coil. That is a way to clear it, but probably not. You really don't want to spend your whole turn just clearing, especially when you're using inefficient clears.
Now he could have right there. He could have Void Caller Shadow Flamed to get rid of it,
That's true.
but that would have gambled
Shadow
on bringing down the Jiraxis as opposed to the Mal'Ganis.
Shadow Flame on any big minion against a deck that plays a bunch of big minions is so valuable.
Now we might see a Shadow Flame.
I think this is a Shadow Flame time. Run in the BGH, Shadow Flame your Void Caller after 3 to the face, and then you.
You just hope for Mal'Ganis and not Jiraxis.
Yeah. Or he could just play Jiraxis right now, then trade with the 7/7 with both things on the board, get Mal'Ganis, and then hit the 1/1.
Yeah, I think that is the right way to go.
It is a safer play.
But it also gets out Jiraxis. And you can just start pumping out Infernals.
Yeah, and it's not as though he's low on cards in hand by any means.
Yeah.
So he should have enough gas to be able to finish this.
4 to the face, 4 to the
I
face.
really like that play. I
Aw.
really like not going for a 50-50.
Yeah.
The 4 to Mal'Ganis was not what he really wanted to see there, though.
That was terrible. Can you actually hit the face? Can the bombs actually hit the face if the hero is immune?
I would imagine.
Because you can't attack an immune hero.
That's actually a very good question. I'm really not sure.
It's interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to test that later, because I would like to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to just ask Ben Brode on Twitter, because that would be a pain to try to test.
Well. We have time for that. Probably Hellfire Implosion. That's what I would
Implosion was a
expect.
very good pickup.
I think Sipin would be very, very wasteful here and not even accomplish the same job that a Hellfire would. Oh, YOLO
Or you
Rag.
can always YOLO Rag.
I'm a fan of YOLO Rag, but not in this situation. Okay, that makes sense. Get the Infernal value, clear one of the minions. They're not gonna deal too much damage to you with that Belcher through 2 taunts.
Yeah, I like that.
It looks good. It has my approval stamp.
And that's the
It's
first.
vulnerable to AoE, but I still like it.
That's the
Yeah.
first Twilight Drake we actually see here in this matchup, which is kind of surprising considering it's handlock versus handlock.
Yeah, you don't need it. You got Swagneros.
Yeah, I don't think Mad Hatter is running it. He had to cut something from the standard handlock. And
Yeah.
that might be the card he cut.
Because you have Nerubian eggs. Those
And,
are 2 cards that you have to add out of nowhere.
and he also had the Abusive Sergeant, too, which is not normally a handlock card either.
Got the Ancient Watchers for Nerubian eggs.
We
That-
haven't seen the Watchers either.
I think the Watchers would be what you would cut if you were going to put the eggs in.
I think the Watchers are better just because Shadow Flame synergy.
They definitely are an enabler in that sense, but it depends what he was going with right
Yeah.
there. Like what his aim was. Because
The Watchers don't synergize well at all with Hellfire. In fact, it's anti-synergy, whereas Nerubian Egg with Hellfire is awesome, so...
Very interesting. Well, we'll see the decks tomorrow, and for our viewers that are interested, remember that hopefully tomorrow, if we can't get to it tomorrow, then sometime soon, the deck list of all of top 4 players will be posted on the website.
I think Dark Bomb are the new YOLO Rag. It's not even really a YOLO Rag. Really?
He's playing around AoE at this point.
Huh, so he just values the Dark Bomb enough? I
Well-
guess it makes sense to value your cards, because you can't actually tap anymore in this game.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be Rag, and he's going to pop out another Inferno.
Ooh, this is dangerous. Ouch.
Ooh. He yells out mistake. I like that.
Well, you have to. You have Jiraxis out.
And he's got the free Molten he's able to play here, and the Shadow Flame, which could wipe out the entire board.
I think he has to.
Yeah. That still leaves him at 9 health, which is a dangerous place.
Well, he could Shadow Flame and then do the combo. Or
There is
Siphon Soul,
time-
sorry, not Shadow Flame.
For the Mad Hatter with Hellfire, Dark Bomb, and the weapon. So he would have to taunt or heal. Silence and taunt? Yep.
Okay, I like it. Jiraxis does too.
Ooh. That plus Shadow Flame? It doesn't actually kill the Watcher, though, which is a problem. You won't guarantee the steal on the Drake. This looks like game.
Yeah, it's definitely, because he has Hellfire that would be able to pull lethal out unless he heals here.
Is there a way to tie the game? Oh, no, there isn't. No.
No, I don't see it.
You can heal bot and try to survive a little longer. What would you combo with it? Nothing.
Yeah, there
Nothing.
really
No.
isn't.
I
You're, you heal bot, you're still dead next turn.
yeah, you're right. There's nothing.
Yeah, I think he's
You still
adding
want
it.
Shadow Flame, so if you steal a taunt and they have nothing in their hand, then the other taunt has to hit into their or you just do that. That works. Don't
Go
take
out your way.
a chance to win when you can Hellfire yourself.
Okay, so that is going to be the series for No then.
I'm glad that it ended with Handlock. Handlock is probably my all-time favorite deck.
Yeah, and it was a classy way for him to end. Go out on the Hellfire to his own
Yeah.
face, and it was well fought. It was a nice handlock mirror match. I'm like I said before. This is probably the 20th time I'm saying it tonight. I really like this format. I'm very thrilled with it. I'm happy that it's what Blizzard's going with
Yeah.
for their World Championship this year. I think it's going to be an exciting championship we're going to have. What was your guys' overall feel for the entire tournament, seeing how the format actually played out?
I love it, and I love it now when it's confusing, and I'm gonna love it even more when people get used to it.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to start seeing this pop up everywhere. Like, I think a lot of the major tournaments are going to start switching over to it because it really feels more balanced, I think. And we
And it's
we
more
all
exciting for
know,
the viewers as well. You get
yeah,
to see more matchups.
absolutely. And what I heard, one of the shows, like the podcast shows, I heard them talking about it that the ban system, the one thing that they didn't like about it is like, how certain players are known for playing certain classes.
Yeah.
With this, you'll always get to see that player, like Strifecrow, play his druid. You'll always get to see him play it. I mean, 99% of the time, unless he didn't pick it for whatever reason. But it's not as though coming in, someone's going to say, "Oh, it's Strifecrow. I'm going to ban his druid." So
Yeah.
then the viewers don't get to see that. So I definitely like it because I was never a fan of the ban system in general because I feel like it just it it excludes something from the game where if someone is like a great player at a particular class, they're just completely kind of blacklisted from ever getting to play it at a tournament for the most part. And
And
this is going to prevent that.
and another thing here is if somebody's great at a certain deck, we'll get to see him play it not only against the best counter and the worst matchup, because it's not like he chooses it against something, a particular deck, and people choose something specific against it. Because of the fact that he has to win against different decks and doesn't always know what he's playing against, we'll see weirder matchups. We'll see matchups that we don't really see in tournament play these days that much.
Yeah, and I also think too that it makes the decks a little bit more translatable, I guess you could say, to like what people see on the ladder because it's not as though it's a pick counter pick system anymore. It's you're more playing to the total field because your opponent, if they win, has to choose, and the opponent, if they lose, also has to choose, or I'm sorry, has the choice to choose a new hero. So it's not as though you know what matchup you're going into immediately following the one you just played. So I think it's going to make players forced to play decks that are a little bit more robust and well-rounded. So
Great.
I think it's going to be a good thing.
So after all this talk about tournament formats, do we have any leaks or releases of next week's tournament format?
Well, at this point, no, because it might slightly be out of our hands. We are currently trying to get sanctioned to award points for the World Championship through our tournaments.
Ooh.
And if that deal goes through, then obviously we'll have to go along with what Blizzard says the format can be. So unfortunately, as of right now, we don't know what the format is going to be next week. But still, the signups are going to be up soon, and as soon as we know what we can and cannot do, we'll have the format for the following week.
Yeah, I think that about covers it. And I also just wanted to throw in as well that all throughout this month we're still doing the giveaways on social media. So if you guys haven't followed us already, you can follow us on Twitter at Hearthmind.net or Google Plus Hearthmind.net official. The YouTube channel is also Hearthmind.net official, and Hearthmind, is it on Facebook? Are we Hearthmind or Hearthmind.net? I'm dropping the ball here. This isn't my normal area of expertise. I believe on Facebook it is just
It is just
facebook.com
Hearthmind.
slash Hearthmind, yes.
It is just Hearthmind. I just checked.
So yeah, we're available. If you can follow us on any of those outlets, you'll automatically be entered into the drawings. That this week we're having the Battle.net gift card that we're giving away, and it's going to be a few different things in the coming weeks all throughout February. So be sure to get on top of that if you guys haven't already. And was there anything else you guys wanted to add?
No, I just hope to see you guys next week.
Definitely. We appreciate you guys coming out. And Alex, did you have anything you wanted to plug?
Nope.
All
I'm
right.
silent for now.
Silent for now. All right. Well, again, thanks for coming, guys, and have a good night.